Fisho's got a pretty respectable report. Some areas are a little bit mediocre, some are good. Talking to our old mate Maso down in Victoria, Albury actually, which is close enough to Victoria. He tells me that the fishing down there isn't as crash ice as it could be. Dartmouth Dam's, yeah, so-so at the moment. They're getting a few trout out of it, but they seem to be fishing deep, 20, 30, 40 feet down, with lead line and downriggers as the only real way of catching any number. Obviously real early in the morning, late in the afternoon, they'll troll a few on the surface, but it's not consistent. So Dartmouth's probably not worth the drive if you're living in the Wagga area. If you're in Albury, yeah, probably worth the effort. The Middle River and all the streams down there, they're a lot better than they have been over the last couple of months, so we're pretty happy with them at the moment. The Middle River's dropped to about 3,000 odd megs at the moment, so it's quite fishable and clean enough, and I think you'll find you get some pretty good results out of it. Fly fishing, lure, bait doesn't seem to matter a great deal. And when we say the Middle River, most of the streams up there are pretty good at the moment, except the real small ones are starting to get a bit warm, but the hoppers are starting to move, so that's worth a bit of a look at the moment. Drifting a hopper or a black cricket around seems to be the go, but hoppers seem to be better than black crickets because they're easier to catch this time of year. So have a look around, see what you can find, and you'll get some good results. Hume Weir, there's some big redfin coming out of it, but I tell you what, there's more people not catching fish than there are catching fish down there, so it can be a bit frustrating. You go back to the boat ramp and somebody's got 1 or 2 or 3 fish and you've got nothing, or vice versa. So it's a bit of a task at the moment, so I'd say the Hume Weir is on that mediocre range. The Murray below the Hume Weir, it's not too bad, a few yellows, a few cod, that sort of thing, but again, nothing special. Mulwala, I've had a few reports, very mixed. Some blokes are getting the odd few fish, some are getting nothing down there, so I certainly put it in the mediocre category as well. But we change stories when we get closer to us, up into the Murrumbidgee River. Obviously, we've spoken about it, how good it is over the last couple of months, and it's still very, very special at the moment. Lure fishing, spinnerbaits, hard bodies, whatever you like, doesn't seem to matter. Getting some pretty good results and some good quality fish too. So we're real happy with that. Anyone going down to drown a bait, yeah, look, it's just endless amount of fish you can catch down there. A lot of small stuff, some reasonable ones amongst them. Big Yabby still producing some of the better quality cod, so things are running hot. The shrimp are still a bit on the slow side at the moment, but if you can get a shrimp, great bait, but you're not getting big numbers of them. Aniseed soap in a shrimp trap will certainly cover the options without any trouble at all. Old Man Creek, mediocre, a few fish coming out of it, but it hasn't seemed it's not setting any records there either. Blowering Dam, some very good fish coming out of it, but not big numbers, but some excellent quality cod, yellows, and the occasional redfin. But you've got to look really hard to find the reddies. They're not just turning up anywhere, I can assure you, and it's not everybody catching them either. Tumut River, very pleased with it. A lot of trout coming out of it. It's exceptional. Every time you look at the heights, it's low or high, but it seems to be fishing quite well. Fly fishermen are having a ball up there at the moment, and bait or lure doesn't seem to matter a great deal. If I was using lure, I'd be using blades. Using bait, gulp bait, eggs or worms will cover the options extremely well there. Talbingo, pretty ordinary. Getting a few fish out of Wangler. We're real happy with that at the moment. Some good quality cod, a few yellows. Burrinjuck, a little bit quieter over the last week or so, but it's still, I put it in the good category. I'd certainly be willing to go for a drive there myself. It's worth a drive, and they're getting some nice yellows and cod out of it, and still getting some good redfin up the wee Jasper arm. So looks pretty promising around us. This is the Compleat Anglers Fishing Report for this week. Catch you next week.